We're born knowing that, we are connected. Like we are a spark from the eternal flame.
Right.
Okay? But when we come through the door, and that's, when we come through the door, it's like we're coming through the door of forgiveness. Okay? And we're on our way to, because children, if you look at babies usually do things in the right way until we train them how not to do it in the right way. We train them to do it in the way we expect them to do it.
Which is why they go straight to Jannah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. We're the highest form of creation, but we do not have the knowledge of who we are. And that's why we come here to find that.
So you were not born Muslim?
Well, I'm going to say no in the sense that, I understand you're asking that, but technically, it is said that we are all born Muslim.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
So, but no, I was born to a Christian family.
Okay.
My father was a preacher.
Oh, wow.
So we went to church 7 days a week and twice on Sunday.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but I take that as my foundation. It was a wonderful foundation for me.
Yeah. And Kalima Cam, I never really touch on religious based, especially Muslim anything. I usually keep it pretty entertainment, pretty surface, but I'm also a reporter, I'm also a journalist, and I'm someone who is naturally intuitive, but also intrigued by things, and I want to ask questions, and I want to understand people. As a journalist, as a reporter, we naturally want to seek the truth and seek information. So I wouldn't be doing my due diligence as a professional or a person like myself. My name is Kalima. By definition, it means kalima, which is word. So I am all about just words and understanding and reporting. And I guess I wanted to make clear to everyone that this is a safe space. We aren't afraid to explore new realities and ask real questions. That's what I wrote some notes here because I want to make that clear. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but speak respectfully. Please, no bullying, because this is not a place of bullying. Kalima Cam never has been and never will be. I am naturally a curious and spiritual person. So when we met, I wanted to interview you right then and there.
You did. You said it.
Right then and there at the table at Iftar, she was like, shh, come on, calm down. But yes, I was ready because I'm just naturally
inquisitive
that way. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I'm also from Florida. I'm from the South, so people are more conservative. Here in LA, they're more liberal. True. So they're more open to new people. That's what makes America beautiful, but that's what makes the world beautiful, is embracing, just embracing different roles, different realities. And if that reality is something that doesn't work for you, it's okay. You can still watch and learn about somebody else's reality without being offended. I was really excited about this, so I put it on social media. I said, you guys, I am going to be interviewing the first that I had ever heard of, a Muslim psychic. I told people, ask me any questions. I have a million questions that I can think of that I'm going to shorten down to a couple minutes. But if there's people out there who know someone personally, who is a psychic, or know someone who personally is Muslim, and it's like, what would I ask if I had the power to ask? What would I ask? My really close friend actually reached out, and his words were, you can't be psychic and Muslim. It doesn't make sense.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
And it hurt me. It hurt me so much because, first of all, this is a really close friend of mine who is also Muslim. Second of all, this is also a Muslim who sins every weekend, almost every day, by choice. This is something that is intuitive, that you were born with. So I decided to do a poll at Kalima Cam TV, and I asked people, does this make sense? Does gays make sense? Can you be gay and Muslim? Can you be alcoholic and Muslim? Can you be rapist and Muslim? Can you be adulterer and Muslim? To be a Muslim, you have to say the Shahada, which means that you believe that there is only one God, Allah, and that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the messenger.
Right.
So my mind is, if that is what makes you a Muslim, that means you can sin and still be a Muslim. But
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, please.
I was trying to follow you, and I'm going like, you can see, by definition of the word. See, this is what people don't understand
Yeah.
about Islam
Yeah.
and Muslim. This is why they feel you cannot be a Muslim and you cannot practice Islam if you're a psychic. Islam is submission to the will of God. That's it. That's all it is. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to make mistakes.
Absolutely, yeah. Where was the signs of your gift?
When I was young, when I was a little girl, the earliest memory that I had was, I would say pre-school.
Okay.
Before I went to school. That's what I mean. Before I went to school. I have a large family. We have, I have 10 brothers and sisters.
Oh my goodness,
okay?
wow.
And I have the audacity to be the middle child of 10 brothers and sisters.
I'm the middle of 2, but yeah.
You know, I would hear things, see things, know things, and I would say, like, oh, Mom, oh, Dad, this happened or that happened or this is going to happen. And they would look at me and say, you can't possibly know that.
Wow.
So, and I would go like,
why do I know that?
Yeah, well, yeah. How can somebody tell me I don't know what I know? But I was little. I was young, so, you know. Yeah. It didn't stay there at that time. You know what I mean? But it was being filtered in subconsciously. Okay. Which really did cause me some problems as I grew.
I do want to, you know, definitely talk about the fact that she's decided to go ahead and write a book. She hasn't come up with a title yet. It's very beginning stages. Right. But yes, that's so beautiful that you are going to speak your story. And
because here's the thing. I went through a lot of trauma as a child having this gift. Because at the time that I had this gift, 40, 50 years ago, don't want to date myself, but 40 or 50 years ago, it wasn't popular. Now it's popular. Yeah. Everybody's a psychic. Everybody is a medium, which they really aren't, but everybody, you know, wants to be a psychic or a medium because it's popular.
And you can go to school to be more intuitive, and
I remember one time in particular when we went to this lady's funeral, and every funeral, I think I was around maybe 8 years, maybe 5, 6 or 7 at this time. Yeah. And I realized, though, that every time we went, the person who died was always the most wonderful person in the world. You know, when they eulogize the person, she was a good mother, she was a good Christian, she was a good wife, and she loved her Lord, and, you know, all those things. And I would hear that over and over and over again every time we went to a funeral, right? This particular time, when we left the funeral, we went and we ate, you know, and all that, and we went home, and we went to bed. Soon as I put my head down on the pillow, this lady came hopping in my room. Wow. Okay? Wow. Her hands were tied behind her back, her legs were bound, and her mouth was gagged. Wow. Okay? And she fell over my bed. Oh my God. I was a little child, right? And I jumped up screaming, of course, right? And my father met me and what's wrong with you? And I told him, my lady is in my room. He said, that can't possibly happen. Go to bed. You know, that's what I always got. That can't possibly happen. Go to bed. I don't know if I realized at that time, at that point, but it was some point in my life where I realized that when you leave this earth, you're not always in Jesus' arms. Yeah. You know, as they say. Okay. In Christianity. Yeah. So, but did you ever figure out why she was tied up and why? Because she wasn't that good woman, that good mother, that good wife. It was something about... Is it possible that she may have died that same way, tied up and... I was little, I don't know. Yeah. But all I know is that did not... That the energy was very... Well, it wasn't... It was just even the visual. Okay. She seemed like it was probably about her gag. If somebody's legs bound, there's something, you know, she wasn't tied up and put in the coffin like that. So how, because I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. I actually do believe in mediums. I do believe in psychics, and I know that it's you know, even Allah says that there are people who really do have this sort of strong intuitive nature. Joseph. So many people in Quran or in the Bible who were psychics and who were, mediums, whatever,
Yeah. And forgive me, I am not as educated on that. I think that where people, especially as Muslims, don't find are able to connect it with the truth is because how you do have those visions, but only Allah knows what's really going to happen or what those things mean. So how were you able to balance seeing things and being able to relay what the truth is or what those things mean? Because obviously at 5 years old, you don't know who this lady is, but as you got older, how were you able to know what's true and what's not?
It was through study, like a lot of things I learned by reading other books by psychics, by mediums, and having them explain an experience that I had.
Okay.
And no one else, I never told anyone about it or whatever, but it was being explained in a book word for word.
Wow.
And I'm like, there are some people who are psychic, who say they're psychic mediums, who I'm looking at them open-mouthed. And I know that it's true because I am one. Mm-hmm. But what really amazes me about them is that they never say they don't know. And I know that it's impossible to know everything. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So what I do know is this, is that we have guides, we have guardians, we have Malaika, angels that are, connected with us, and we have many different spirits that are connected with us. Now that a lot of people don't want to believe, but it's the truth.
And you feel like it's a combination of all of those powers that give you that guidance to know, okay, this is true. When you say that you feel something that's beyond yourself.
No, everybody have that. You have that.
Yeah.
The next person.
It's true. Yeah.
Everybody has that.
Is it just a strong intuition? I know that this is true.
No, it's not a strong, it's not even intuition. And here's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I don't always have words to explain it.
Of course.
Because it's like, how can you explain the unexplainable? Even when I see other psychics, they'll tell you that they know what the other realm. They act like they have a Google map that they can over there where they can, go anywhere that they want to go. I don't know that. All I know is it happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All I know is that it happens. Mm-hmm. Now, certain spirits that are with me, I do know those spirits.
Do you think that being psychic is or is not connected with religion and God? Do you think that they're separate entities?
I know the spirit that works with me.
Right.
Okay. As a matter of fact, my coming here, I was like,
Of course. You coming here for me, I was like, I've never done this before, so it is.
And I've never done it for anyone.
Yeah.
I haven't done it for anyone. But as I sat here while you were setting up, mm-hmm. I saw the spirit. I said, okay, you're here. I said it to myself. I said, okay, you're here.
Yay!
So when I saw that, I said, okay, it's going to be good.
There's a spirit that comes to let you know that it's going to be okay?
Well, not so much that it's going to be okay. That's the spirit that's with me. Mm-hmm. You have spirits with you, so I'm looking for them.
No, I left my iPad. I was like,
like, where is he? I don't even know if it's a man. Yeah, it is a man. Yeah.
It's a man!
Yeah. But there's women too.
I wanted to ask you about your process. Do you use crystals, or how do you work when you do? Because you do this, you do have a service where you help people.
Yes.
What are your most common services, and how do you do it?
Well, I do have crystals.
Okay.
Of course, but I have crystals mainly for the energy that the crystal has.
Okay. So it's true that there's energy in crystals.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a spirit, and everything that's created has a spirit. Everything. The wind has a spirit, the water has a spirit, the mountains have a spirit. Mm-hmm. All the vegetations have a spirit.
See, in my mind, Allah says don't worship idols. And you may not be worshiping it, but
to know it is not to worship it.
Right. Right.
You know, but people do have that misunderstanding.
Yeah. But it's so true, though. The wind, I feel something from it. I'm not worshiping it. Yeah.
Look, just, you know, and that's when you said when you asked how did it affect my religion or whatever. That's one of the ways. A lot of people who, and I have to go like this, Muslims, I have to do the little air quotes, I'm sorry, because we don't already know how to be Muslim.
Yeah.
We think just rehearsing something and mimicking it makes us a Muslim. Dressing a certain way.
The rituals.
The rituals. We think the rituals are what makes us
so many people live their lives and say that they're Muslim just because they do the rituals, but you can be religious and not spiritual, and spiritual and not religious.
Exactly.
That's why you can be a spiritual person and have a strong connection with Allah, and be religious and not really have a strong connection.
Now, for me, I don't consider myself religious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Muslim, but I do not consider myself religious. Now, I had to struggle with this.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, I had to struggle with it until finally, see, I have a thing where a lot of people, how we say people go out and they're taught certain things, well, my spirits teach me.
Yeah.
You know, they teach me themselves. Okay?
Yeah.
And so when I'm struggling with a concept or me not feeling that I want to do what everyone says I'm supposed to do in order to be a Muslim.
Okay.
You know, it's like I don't have to do everything that you think I have to do in order to be a Muslim.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, but I had to struggle with that.
Of course, and so many people do. Yeah.
So, but finally, my answer was this. My answer was this, and I'm going to say it anyway. It came to me is that every religion, every tradition has truth. Okay, but what this is man always messes up everything. Okay,
yeah, humans, right?
Man, yeah. Right. So they take the truth, and let's just think of a pattern, like if you were a seamstress, right?
Right.
And you were going to make a coat, okay? You're going to cut two sides. That's going to be the side panels. You're going to cut a back. It's going to be the back panel, right? The collar and the arms or whatever, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's just say that each one of those were a truth. Okay? So you have to take that truth and shape it in order for it to make the panel. Okay. So you're shaping all these truths. That's what religions do. They're all truths, but they shape them
to be relatable to their own reality.
To their own reality.
Yeah.
So Spirit said, and when they shape it like that, and they sew it together, and they make a garment, He said, then that garment is what they have, and they can neither add nor detract from it. That's why they get so stubborn. So if they hear anything that challenges what they feel the truth is, then
they shun you out.
So Spirit said, that's why you can't. Me, because I was wondering, why can't I practice religion? You can't, because you're born and we're teaching you.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So what you have is like a free-flowing cloth that you wrap around anyway. You put it on like this, you know, there's a head covering, you wrap it as a sari, you know what I mean, like that. Yeah. That's the truth, and that's the way the truth is supposed to flow. Usually what I do is, when a person comes, I like to first tell them everything that I want to tell them. So if you refer someone to me, all I want from you is that person's name.
Oh, wow.
That's it. Because I want my readings to be pure. Okay. You know, I want because I always want to know where it's coming from.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then what I do is I tell them all that I can tell them, and then I ask them, do they want to ask any questions?
Okay.
And then I do the intuitive counseling from there.
Okay.
But my whole thing about what I do is I help people unpack their shit. Excuse me.
Yeah, no.
That's all that I can say. You know, because we have so much that is blocking us from growing. And you know, people, when I talk about the religion, when I talk about those things keep you so in the same place, and you wonder, how come I'm not growing?
Right.
How come I'm not getting closer to the knowledge of myself and to the knowledge of my Lord? Because you're stuck. You can't go left nor right. Because if you go left or right, it's going to contradict with something that you have established as a pillar of your belief.
Do you believe that Allah is the only one who knows the unseen?
There is a certain amount of knowledge and understanding within every human being. And it is there, it's incumbent upon them to find it. Okay? That's why we meditate. That's why we pray. That's why we do certain, things.
Rituals.
Yeah, rituals. Okay? And once you get there, it's called self-realization. Once you become self-realized, then you become God-conscious.
But when I say the unseen, I mean the future. Okay.
Oh, the unseen. That's what. There's a lot of unseens. The unseen is not just the future.
Yeah, like just how if someone says, "Hey, how many kids am I gonna have?" Only does Allah know, or when you say 2 kids?
Yeah, no, you can know. Man has the ability to know far more than he knows right now. Okay, every individual. Okay, now, but there are things that only Allah knows. But He said that He will reveal it to whom He please. So there are some people who also know.
That's very true. Yeah,
the unseen.
Yeah. What is your relationship with Allah, and do you feel that He loves you and says, even though people don't like you for what you do, I'm telling you I'm going to protect you because I accept you?
I've grown to the point to understand that the work that I do, I don't solicit. I don't advertise.
Right.
But their spirits will send them to me.
Like,
yes. When they need to know something, and that's the best time, because I can look at somebody and I can tell them, you know what, such and such and such a thing, and they can get pissed off and tell me no, it's not. Although I know it's true. Okay, but so I don't waste my time like that. But if a person comes to me and they're ready to sit and hear, that's when I'm ready to tell them.
Open. They have to be open to receive it. And you feel that your relationship, like you did say, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Do you feel that Allah is walking with you through this entire experience? Okay.
He's with everybody. He's not just with me. He's with everybody, no matter what you are, what you do.
Yeah.
Like he says, I'm closer to you than your jugular vein.
Closer than jugular vein. The very next statement I was going to say. Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. And that's not just because you say I'm Muslim. That is just a fact.
Yeah, Have you seen The Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry? Yeah. It's interesting that he scribbles to get connection.
No, but he's setting himself aside.
Okay.
Like I said, that's how he can use a card.
And they did, and they did a test on his brain, and they said that when he starts to connect with the spirits, his brain by the
brainwaves.
Yes, by the brainwaves goes dead as if he's asleep. It's the same brainwave of sleeping. So that means you are basically bouncing.
See, we are vibrating at a certain rate. Okay, spirits vibrate at a much higher rate than you do.
Oh wow.
Okay, so in order for me to connect with them, I have to vibrate. I have to elevate.
Okay.
And they come down.
That's why he's so sweaty, even. Yeah.
And we meet somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
And I have to even like when we finish talking, I'm going to have to sit for a minute. Because even though it doesn't look like I have elevated, I have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll have to sit and recenter.
Energy, yeah. It takes a lot of energy
to recenter myself. So, and that's how you meet and you talk with, you talk with them. And when you're talking with them, it's not so much the way we're talking now. It's through impression. They impress something upon you. Or you feel to say a certain thing or do a certain thing, and the way that you know is true is that the person that you never talked to before, you never seen before, they validate it for you.
And that's the thing, I think, with religion in general, we're so scared to ask questions and explore. And even with me, obviously I've been taught and trained and told that, You shouldn't go near it. You shouldn't ask questions. But I'm so confident in my relationship with Allah. And I believe that there are always going to be more people, just like, if there's one, there's millions of more who can't, who have nobody to talk to, who thinks they're the only ones in the world with this gift. And they should know that it's okay that you have this, and that you still love Allah. And that you're different, because Allah says that no one person was made the same, so that means that your purpose and my purpose and her purpose and his purpose are completely different. And not even your parents are going to tell you that this is how you're supposed to grow up.
Even the Quran, what does it say? It says, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave.
Yeah.
There's a sheikh who started, I don't know if he was from Pakistan, but he's from one of the Middle Eastern countries. And I met him years before most people met him here at Islam, And so when he started knowing, other people and going to the masjids and stuff like that, people started coming and sitting with him and all that stuff. And one day I was sitting with him, and there was other people sitting around, and I said, Sheikh, I said, I forget how I formulated it, but what I was telling him is that I see things that's going to happen before it happens. Okay, I even have spiritual experiences, and I'm told certain things, and people tell me, and if I say it in the community, they say astaghfirullah.
Yeah.
And you know what he said to me?
What?
He said, Hanifa, leave them. They're sleeping. They're sleeping. And what that means is their consciousness has not expanded enough to understand that it's true. I'm a registered nurse. I make good money.
Yeah.
And I'm good at what I do. Very good at what I do. But it became so apparent to me that what I was doing in the medical field was really just to make a paycheck, because I couldn't affect any difference, in there, because I was under somebody else's.
You had to stay in your lane.
Yes, I had to stay in my lane. So every now and then, when I could, I would help a person who was crossing over, and I would help the family by knowing that you're just being birthed from this side into the other side. Every now and then, I could help a family, and make them understand that.
At the hospital, you don't tell them that you're psychic? Do you just let your title be nurse? Okay.
Oh, yeah. But I don't work in the hospital per se. I work in people's homes.
Okay.
I go see patient to patient because I couldn't stand staying in the hospital on full-time basis. My spirit couldn't take it.
Okay.
So, but as I was being an RN, I would have people coming to me all the time.
Yeah.
But they were literally, and I'm saying this in the nicest way, they were draining me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So trying to do that job and do my job as a psychic was too much.
But what if you see something, you have an intuition, or you feel something's about to happen, you just let it happen naturally, because technically as an RN you need to stay in your lane, or do you go ahead and offer that info? If the spirit is kind of please.
If they're expected to get well, I've done stuff that I know that I had to do because other people weren't doing it.
Wow.
And I just put it under doctor. I'll call the doctor. Doctor, don't you think that you should do such and such a thing because of I'll just give him a scenario and make him feel that it's his choice. To do it, and then they would come and do it.
IslamWeb.net says, the daily prayers of whoever approaches a fortune teller and asks him about anything will not be accepted for 40 days and nights. What's your response to something like that?
I'm not a fortune teller. It's a difference between being a psychic and being a fortune teller. Okay. I'll tell people, even in my bio will say that I don't know who you're going to marry, nor do I know if you're going to win the lotto. But what I do know, when you sit with me, is spirit will, you'll get what you need.
Okay.
And that's different than telling a person's future. Now sometimes within the reading, something about their future will come because it's necessary to help them overcome what it is that they're dealing with.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I say I help people unpack their stuff, it's like when you come to me, I'm looking at you, I can tell that you're carrying so much anger, you're carrying hurt, you're carrying, pain, you're carrying jealousy or enviness, you haven't forgiven, and also all those things are blocks to your growth. Okay? And those are not the only things. But that might be by my saying that might be the reason why you haven't met who you want to meet. But by my saying that is not predicting who you're going to meet.
Right.
It's just telling you why you haven't. What I believe about hadith is, if it makes sense, then use it. I remember one time,
like my prayer won't be accepted if I have polish. Like I know Allah's accepting my prayers. So
girl, let me tell you something. Have you ever got so sick that you had to lay down in the bathroom floor on that cold towel because you were so sick?
Yeah.
And did you not call on Allah in the bathroom?
Right.
Okay, so I don't want to hear it. What I do, I know Allah sees it, so and I do the best I can.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for
Right.
you.
Right. Absolutely.
And how that really it's out into the universe. That's a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that encompasses everybody, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jewish, whatever. I don't discriminate. The truth is the truth, no matter where you find it.
Period. If you fear something,
you're controlled by what you fear.
The world needs, last but not least, God is
everywhere, in everything, in everyone.